So with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters recently, we've seen kind of like a crazy influx of Deadpool and Wolverine figures from a variety of different companies. And this one is from ZD Toys, a company that I've had no previous experience of, but the images of these figures look incredible. And at a price point similar to Hasbro, surely they're worth a look. And we've got Wolverine in hand first, so let's take a look at him now. Hi all, Chris here, and yeah, I know nothing about ZD Toys, I'll be honest. I know that I've seen ZD Toys figures before from a distance, online. I've glanced at reviews, and I know that they have done some Marvel figures before, some Iron Man and Spider-Man figures, but I've never had one in hand. In the UK, it seems really difficult to get hold of these figures, and the ones that I've got now I had to import, so they're not hugely readily available where I live. But when I first saw the images of these, I thought they looked amazing. So what we're going to do today is we've got both figures to look at over the course of the next week. We're starting with Wolverine. I'm really excited about this because from what I've seen of them, they're absolutely going to rival the sort of Marvel Legends series figures. I'm just going to take a look at the box first. For this lower $25 price point, this box feels really premium, and the artwork on it as well looks fantastic. It might be difficult to see on camera, but there's like this metallic glistening on the box as well. Really, really nice looking art on it, well printed, and it's kind of a tight little box as well. On the side there, you've just got the Deadpool and Wolverine and a 3D rendering. We've got a nice holographic Disney sticker on there as well. And on the other side, we've got another Deadpool and Wolverine logo, and there you can see maybe a little bit better that kind of pearlescent glitter effect on the box. And on the back we've got 3 or 4 images of the figure in a variety of different positions as well, and a little bit of legal jargon in a language that I cannot read. So I mean, the box itself looks really nice, and then if we get this box open, we'll be able to see what the figure looks like inside. And to sort of add to that premium effect, the box is sealed by a magnet, and then when we open it up, it's just the figure on show with a nice clean black background to him. It gives me that kind of, I don't know, like Hot Toys Mezco feel when you look at the box, especially with the way that the Mezco figures are packaged. All the accessories are underneath. But let's get the figure and accessories out and we'll start to break this down. We're going to switch it up a little bit today. I'm going to take a look at the accessories first. There aren't many of them, but what we do have look really nice. So we actually get a pair of claw out hands with the three pronged claws of Wolverine on there, and they're a nice silver color. That when they come out of the box, they aren't positioned in the best way. They are sort of bent a little bit and folded, but a little bit of heat on them would sort them right out. But there's a nice glistening silver on them. I love that it's not just sort of an unpainted grey plastic. They've actually gone to the trouble of making sure that there is like that reflective silver paint on it. And then if we take a look in more detail at these open palmed hands that come with it, look at the level of sculpted detail on that. For a low price figure, that looks unbelievable. The mottling really gives you that tactile feel of this being an armored suit that he's wearing, and that, you know, the rubberized, maybe leather kind of feel to the suit. And it's just really impressive. As well as open palmed hands, we also get a pair of kind of gripping hands almost. They're not exactly gripping, but they're kind of like angered hands, almost a grip, almost a fist, but not quite either. Clawed hands, I guess, that'll be good for fighting stances for Wolverine. And we also get a stand with it as well, a really nice, almost like a flight stand, I guess, but really well printed on the bottom. And then we get a great arm on here. And the thing I love the most about this stand is that it is spring activated as well. So that will really hug the figure. I've got so many of those cheap stands where the prongs open up a little bit and then it just breaks because it doesn't actually grip the figure. But these will properly grip the figure. So I'm super impressed with the accessories. Not the greatest number of them, but for the price, I guess I wouldn't have expected there to be a huge number of accessories with it. Yeah, so the accessories look good. And like I say, detail-wise, paint-wise, they look fine. But let's get into the figure now and see what we think of the man himself. So here we are with the Wolverine figure, and well, I mean, first impressions, wow. For this price, I keep saying for this price, but it feels like a premium figure. The weight of the figure feels premium, and I'm judging it against the Marvel Legends figures that we get so many Wolverines of, and it blows them out of the water. The level of detail on it, the proportions of the figure, it is a slightly different scale if you hadn't already realised. The Marvel Legends are a 1/12 scale, 6-inch figure. These are a 1/10 scale, just slightly shy of 7 inches. Yeah, and then they feel fantastic. I just can't get over those kind of mottled detailing on it. It really, really gives a great impression of the material that was used to make the suit. And the paintwork on it largely is really good. There are a couple of spots of bleeding on the suit, which I guess, is something that you see a lot on lower price point figures. But this figure itself, I love the way that so many of the joints are almost hidden. There's so many tight lines, especially around the groin and the shoulders, that it really hides the joints well, and we'll look a little bit more in articulation at how that's achieved. I'm so blown away by the quality of this sculpt and the quality of the paint. It's the best Wolverine figure I've seen at this scale, or comparatively with 1/12 scale figures as well. But at this kind of level and price point, it's unbelievable, really. I'm finding it really difficult to pick flaws, in all honesty. And we'll take a look at articulation now as well. So it's got a good rocking motion on the head. There is a full 360-degree head movement on there as well. And has got reasonably good up and down movement, because the neck as well as the bottom of the head moves on this figure. So that is excellent. We then have a really interesting feature on these figures where there is a butterfly joint on the shoulder, but also the ball of the shoulder pops out a small amount, as you can see on here, which gives it a little bit more freedom of movement. There's a great double joint in the elbow, which moves super freely, and a twist at the top of the arm. And then we also have a twist in the wrist as well as a bend, because it's on a ball joint. So really impressive arm movement overall. And then let's take a look at the ab crunch as well. Really nice freedom of movement on that ab crunch, and you can see on it that the paintwork actually goes into the ab crunch. They've actually painted areas that you wouldn't even normally see. There's a great rocking movement on the ab crunch as well. There's a slight movement on the twist of the waist, but that's never something that I'm particularly worried about. And then into the legs, again, the ball joint pulls away from the top of the leg, and there is good movement forwards and sideways at the top there. We will push that back up. There is an excellent double joint in the knee that moves almost all the way backwards. And then there is also a twist and pivot in the ankle, so that moves reasonably nicely as well. Not a huge range of motion there, but it moves very nicely for what it is. And there is even toe articulation on these figures as well. So that's really nice to see. So I think overall, this figure, and I cannot wait to open the Deadpool figure up as well, but this figure is so impressive. The look and the proportion of this figure feels far more premium than the price point you're paying for it. If you're not particularly worried about what figures you've got on your shelf as to, what brand you're collecting, I would absolutely encourage you to go out and purchase these ZD Toys figures. And it's definitely made me want to go out and get more ZD Toys figures as well. I mean, I can't wait to maybe get a couple of Iron Man figures, and the Iron Spider I've seen as well. I think they all look fantastic. And if it's to the same build quality as this, then I can't see why they wouldn't be amazing figures as well. The face sculpt on the Wolverine is good. I don't know if I'd say it is a fantastic likeness to Hugh Jackman, but as 80% of the face is covered by a mask, I guess that's really difficult to say. But the facial hair on it looks good. I think the face in general, the mask itself looks fantastic. So that sells it. I'm not sure about the hard black lines on the top of the mask there. I don't know if that's hugely accurate. I don't remember the lines there being quite that defined. But I guess that it fits in with some of the hard lines at the top of the chest as well. So I can kind of understand the paint scheme that they've gone for there. I just think everything about the figure looks fantastic. I think the idea of being able to pop away the shoulders so that you've got more freedom of movement, and the T-pose is not restricted by any part of the suit or by the shoulder pads that are there. I think that's quite smart, and again, just gives it that premium feel. There's just so much consideration that's gone into this figure. I think the colouring is really spot on as well. So I just feel that what you're getting for your money is a really, really good figure and has got lots of value for what you're paying. I think if you're trying to pose him with Marvel Legends figures, they're going to look a bit out of place. With the difference between the 6 and 7 inch scale, it is going to be quite noticeable on the shelf. But if you're looking at doing action figure photography, I'm sure you can play around with perspective a little bit to make sure that you can use all of these figures in the same shot. But yeah, my summary is fantastic figure. I'd done my top 5 figures of the year so far, and I hadn't yet opened these up. I can't see why both of these figures won't be in my top 10 of the year. They are unbelievable for the price. I'm just so impressed with them. Having reviewed 4 or 5 Marvel Legends figures so far this year, if not more, these are by far and away better than those figures. Like I say, they feel weightier. The texturing on the figures feels more premium. The paintwork on them, the paintwork on front and back of this figure is so detailed, where we see so often that Marvel Legends figures might be more detailed on the front but not so much on the back. And the fact that the paintwork really feeds into the joints as well, so whenever joints are moved you can still see the continuation of patterns. So yeah, I think this figure is top notch. Go out and buy this figure, you will not be disappointed. But please drop down in the comments and let me know what you think of this guy. Are you impressed with him? Have you got him? Are you looking to get him? Please tell me in the comments what you think. And also let me know what you think of the movie as well. I absolutely loved Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought it was a really good time at the cinema. So yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. Also, please pop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. It's hugely helpful to me. And please also consider subscribing to my channel for more action figure reviews and news. We've obviously got the Deadpool that relates to this figure as well from the movie Deadpool and Wolverine coming up in the next few days. So if you want to see that video, hit the subscribe button and you'll be alerted when the video drops. But that's it from me today. And if Marvel figures interest you, why don't you check out this video next? Thanks ever so much for joining me today. I hope you all take care now. Bye bye.